One of the really cool things you can do with your computer is work with the different connections or sessions. For me, the word connections and sessions are the same word that are taking place. Wouldn't it be interesting to you to know what your computer is talking to at any given moment? Now sure, if you've got open a web browser or something, you might assume that you've got a connection to a web server, and you may or may not be right. But I can't tell you how many times I've went to a computer, checked all the sessions that we're running, only to discover very, very interesting things. And the A+ wants you to know this too. So what we're going to start with is a very old but powerful tool called NetStat. Now I'm going to be running it's a command line tool. I'm running it on Windows 10, but it works exactly the same on every older version of Windows. So let's take a look at NetStat. So to run NetStat, you just type NetStat and you hit enter. And what we're actually looking at here are all of the connections. Now, so you can see here, this is my local address here. This is my ethereal port number. This is my who I'm connecting to. And this is the port number that I'm using to connect. So these are all HTTPS. Now, it's hard for a lot of people to read it this way, so there's a couple of cool things we can do. One of these things is I'm going to type NetStat again, except this time I'm going to do a -N. So all that did is it changed from words to numbers. So let's look again. So now it looks a little bit easier. So I've got all these port 443s. Those are secure web pages. I actually have Chrome running right now. Now, if let me bring Chrome up. So you can see I've got Chrome running right now, but I don't have a bunch of tabs open, do I? It's just one web page. But if you look, I've got all of these connections. Well, anytime you open one web page anymore, you tend to get a lot of connections. Every banner, every link, everything will show up as its own connection. So that is normal for us to see that. So NetStat gives us a quick way to see what connections are currently on this particular system. Now I'm going to run NetStat one more time. And you can see a lot of this has gone from establish connections to time wait. That's pretty common for web pages. What they'll do is they'll make a connection, hand the web page to the client, and then after a while they kind of go into this time wait, and then they actually close. So that is normal type of behavior. Now what I want to do this time is I want to run NetStat again, except this time I'm going to run it with a very special option, -A. -A simply means I want to see everything that's going on, whether it's an active connection, whether it's just listening, whatever it is, I want to see it. So if we scroll through this, let me get back up to the top here. You can see that this computer right here is listening on a lot of these ports. Now, we'll cover exactly what these port numbers are in other episodes, but for example, 133, 135, 445, 139, those are all for file and print sharing. So we'll see those, even though all they're doing is listening. You can see the word listening. Here's my web connections. This is IPv6 stuff. We're not going to worry about that. And then it also shows what we're listening on the UDP protocol as well. So it splits it up for us rather nicely. So the NetStat command is amazing because it shows me who I'm connected to. I can't tell you many times I have run NetStat and I was like, what connection is that? I don't have any session with that scary name thing on some port number I've never recognized before. And that is one of the challenges with NetStat. It's a command line tool, so you have to keep retyping it to update it. So unless you have very much later versions of Windows that have the more powerful resource monitor, usually the tool we all turn to is good old Mark Russinovich, once again from sysinternals.com, has a tool called TCPview. I love TCPview. I've been using it for years. It's completely free. I love it. I love you, Mark Russinovich. You're a great guy, and I want to show everybody how cool of a tool you have. This is TCPview. TCPview is really just like a graphical NetStat. It's showing you everything that's happening, but it shows you in real time. So watch this. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you can see it. So what I'm going to do is open up a tab. Did you see what happened there? Do you see the green? What's taking place is that those are new sessions that are opening up, and he automatically shows that to us. So So I go to a website, you can actually show where we're making the connection, the whole shebang. So TCP View is a great tool simply because it's a graphical netstat. It keeps everything up and running. If you take a look at it, it makes sense. You can say what process is running. This is the process ID that Windows uses. What protocol, TCP or UDP. There's the local address, which is my computer, which is studio.totalhome. There's my ephemeral port. This is the remote address. Oh, by the way, if you want to turn those into numbers, he'll do that too. So that's the remote address, and that's the remote port, and here is the status of that particular connection. So the main reason we run netstat, or preferably things like TCP View, is it allows us to know who is connecting on my computer at any given moment. If I have background things that I don't see that are making connections, I want to know about it. Equally, if somebody's coming in and connecting to me, I want to know about it. So make sure you're familiar with these tools, not only for the A+, but for the real world as well.